Few people understand the essence of the negotiations between the US and Russia. These are not peace talks. They are dividing the skin of an unkilled bear. That is, they are trying to divide the undefeated Ukraine. Russian oppositionist and sociologist Igor Eidman writes about this in his blog. Trump treats Ukraine like an imperialist predator from the 19th century. He wants to divide it with Putin. He hardly hides the fact that he is ready to give part of Ukraine to Russia and impose a bondage agreement on the remaining part, which in fact gives the US the opportunity to exploit the natural resources and human potential of the country without control. This is exactly the project that the Americans handed over to the Ukrainian authorities, and it was leaked to the press. Imperialist powers imposed similar unequal agreements on China, Iran, and their semi-colonies in the 19th and early 20th centuries. Trump's idea is not only treacherous and immoral, but also completely unrealistic. The great powers of the past imposed and forced to comply with enslaving treaties by force, gunboat diplomacy. Ukraine will never sign such an agreement, but even if it did, who would force it to comply? Any subsequent Ukrainian president would have torn up such a bonded agreement immediately after the change of power. And how would the US have responded? Would they have sent an expeditionary force to Ukraine? Absolutely unrealistic. Would they have stopped protecting it from Russia? Well, they don't do that anyway. Besides, Putin is not going to give the US the largest part of Ukraine that he needs himself. For him, Kharkov, Dnepr, Odessa, even Kiev are Russian rebellious territory, and he is not going to cede it to the Americans. Trump also needs the largest part of Ukraine as a semi-colony, otherwise the game is not worth the candle. So Putin and Trump will not be able to divide Ukraine the way Hitler and Stalin divided Poland. Zelensky does not openly send Trump with his predatory claims after the Russian warship, only until all the military aid allocated by Biden has been delivered and the support system without American participation, the coalition of the Resolute, has not been fully built. Therefore, negotiations on the enslaving agreement are simply being delayed. While negotiations are ongoing, aid is also coming.
Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife are visiting an American military base in Greenland. According to Associated Press, the visit on Friday was revised after an initial 3-day trip to the semi-autonomous Danish territory created uproar among Greenlanders and Danes who were irked that the travel plans were announced without previous consultation. Relations have been tense after President Donald Trump repeatedly suggested that the United States should in some form control the mineral-rich Danish territory. The one-day visit to the U.S. Space Force outpost at Putler, on the northwest coast of Greenland, has removed the risk of potentially violating diplomatic custom by sending a delegation to another country without an official invitation. Soon after arriving, Vance and his wife sat down with American troops stationed at the base for lunch. Vance briefly addressed U.S. troops at the start of a lunch, telling them he's really interested in Arctic security. As you all know, it's a big issue and it's only going to get bigger over the coming decades, Vance said.
Hey guys, how we doing? Please, at ease. At ease. Good Lord, sit down and eat. Sit down and eat. Don't let the Vice President stop you guys from getting your chow here. How we doing? It's cold as shit here. Nobody told me. Well, thank you all for everything you do, and thanks for having us. So please sit down, guys. Please, please. I want you to eat your food. Usha and I are thrilled to be here. It's a really beautiful flight, actually. You fly over some pretty cool spots. I've never been to Greenland. Apparently, I'm the first vice president to ever visit Greenland, so that's a pretty cool thing. But we're looking forward to hanging out and getting to know you guys and understanding what you do. So I think what do we have? So Mike, we're gonna talk to the command and some of the guardians about what exactly the base does and all the important ways it contributes to national security. We're going to get a briefing, of course, about what you guys do every day, and then we're going to talk just about, as you've heard, we have some interest in Greenland from the Trump administration. So we're going to talk a little bit about that with our friends in the media. But I just want to say thank you all. Thanks for having us, and thanks for being here. Thanks for doing what you do. The colonel told me that this is a one-year unaccompanied duty station. When we were flying in, we were wondering whether you guys were allowed to bring your families here. So I know it's a lot of sacrifice to spend a year away from your families, but the mission is really important. The Trump administration, the president is really interested in Arctic security. As you all know, it's a big issue, and it's only going to get bigger over the coming decades. So thanks for doing what you do. What's the plan here? So I thought I was serving food, but it looks like everyone's already got their food. What's the plan from here, guys? I'm sorry? Okay, we're going to get some food here too. Good, okay. All right, we're sitting right there? Yes. Fantastic. Great. Thank you all for having us. Hey guys. How's it going? Good. So, hey guys. How we doing? Please, eat. Seriously. So, where's everybody from? Texas. Okay. A little bit, yeah. A little bit colder than Texas. Okay.
An earthquake with a 7.7 magnitude has rocked Southeast Asia on Friday, according to the United States Geological Survey. United States Geological Survey is reporting the epicenter of the quake was in Mandalay, Myanmar, but reports are emerging of the quake being felt as far south as Bangkok in Thailand. Germany's GFC Center for Geosciences said the midday trembler was a shallow 10 kilometers, with an epicenter in neighboring Myanmar, according to temporary reports. The Greater Bangkok area is home to more than 17 million people, many of whom live in high-rise apartments. Startled residents poured out of high-rise condominiums and hotels in densely populated central Bangkok. They remained in the streets, seeking shade from the midday sun in the minutes after the earthquake. The quake was forceful enough to send water sloshing out of pools, some high up in high-rises, as the tremor shook. Many buildings were evacuated as they swayed in the rare earthquake. The epicenter of the earthquake was in central Myanmar, about 50 kilometers east of the city of Manua. There were no immediate reports of the effect of the earthquake in Myanmar, which is in the middle of a civil war.